Vanakkam everyone. I welcome all of you for Navarathri celebration day 5 with Mahavidya Arts. Before we commence today's program, we'll have a short prayer. Om Marara Namah Parvati Padaye Arahara Mahadeva தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி காவாய் கனகதரளே போற்றி கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி ஸ்ரீ கற்பக விநாயகம் பஜே மகா கணபதே சாரதா பீட்டநிலையே ஜகதம்பிகே ஸ்ரீ வள்ளி தேவ சேனாதிபதே நமோ நமः சிவ சிவ சுப்பிரமணியோஹம் ஓம் குரு பிரம்மா குரு விஷ்ணு குரு தேவோ மகேஸ்வரः குரு சாக்ஷாத் பரபிரம்ம தஸ்மை ஸ்ரீ குரவே நமः குரவே சர்வலோகானாம் விஷஜே பவரோஹிணாம் நிதயே சர்வ வித்யானாம் ஸ்ரீ தட்சிணாமூர்த்தி பரமகுரவே நமோ நமः தட்சிணமூர்த்தாய வித்மஹே ஞானஹஸ்தாய தீமஹி தன்னோ தீக்ஷ பிரச்சோதயாத் ஓம் ஆதித்யாய ச சோமாய மங்களாய புதாய ச குரு சுக்ர சனிப்யஸ்ச ராகவே கேதவே நமः ஓம் ஆதித்யாய சோமாய மங்களாய புதாய ச குரு சுக்ர சனிப்யஸ்ச ராகவே கேதவே நமः ஓம் ஆதித்யாய சோமாய மங்களாய புதாய ச குரு சுக்ர சனிப்யஸ்ச ராகவே கேதவே நமः ஓம் ஸ்ரீ மாத்ரே நமः. I welcome all of you for today's Navaratri celebration. Today is day 5. Usually day 5 is celebrated for Goddess Lakshmi, which is falling on Panchami Tithi. Today our presentation will be on the moon planet. Navagrahas. In Navagrahas, the king is the sun, the queen is the moon. So the divine masculine energy is the sun and divine feminine energy is the moon, which we in Hinduism we refer to Goddess Parvati or known as Adi Parashakti. So let's get into our heated presentation for today, which is on the moon planet, and I'll be presenting the presentation today. Do bear with me. Okay. I hope you can all see the slide. 1 second, it's taking some time to upload. Okay, today we are going to talk about the moon, which is also known as Lord Chandra. Here, moon is regarded as the feminine energy, the mind, the emotions, the happiness, motherly figures, the intuition, the hidden secrets or the dark side also can be closely related to the symbolism of goddess Kali, food, which is nourishing and rich, fertility, pregnancy, childbirth, plants and vegetation. The moon in the Navagraha concept is known as Chandradeva. Other names for Lord Chandra is Soma, Rajanipati, Indu, Kshuparaka, and Chandrama. He is the second among the Navagrahas. Like I said, the sun is the first, second comes the moon. Here, goddess Parvati or the divine feminine creative energy is the presiding deity of the moon. So if sun is the king, Shiva, then the moon is the queen, Shakti. How moon is related to us? Moon navigates the zodiac belt, which is from Mesham to Meenam, roughly 2.5 days in each sign. That means here the moon is moving from each zodiac signs every 2.5 days. That is why we actually see the nakshatras changing on a day-to-day basis within the 2.5 days period. During this transit, the moon then reflects our state of mind and how we are reacting towards our emotions. It also resembles our attachment towards things, people, and how we influence others in terms of our moods and characters. For example, if we are in a state of confusion, that confusion thought, we are also influencing other people who are around us with that state of mind. So that's what I was referring to in this context. In Vedic astrology, Chandra rules Kadaga Rasi, Cancer zodiac sign. He is exalted or Ucham in Vrishabha Rasi in Taurus, debilitated in Virchiga Rasi. Debilitated is Neecham in Virchiga Rasi, Scorpio. And if in an ascending mode, the moon is considered benefic. That means it gives you the stability in mind and emotions, regardless of how the situation you are handling it. In the descending mode, it is malefic. It brings confusion, depression, and other kind of mental illnesses if the emotions are not handled carefully. This can be actually corrected with the help of meditation, pranayama practice, and yoga asanas. Now here moon rules 3 specific nakshatras. That means it controls these 3 nakshatras, which is Rohini, Hastam, and Tiruvonam. Tiruvonam is known as Shravana Nakshatra in Sanskrit. In Vedic astrology, Lord Chandra is actually described as a fair and young with 2 hands holding a club and a lotus. Here club is actually referred to a container that has got the nectar, which gives us immortality. He rides the chariot across the sky every night, pulled by either white horses or antelope. Based on Hindu mythology, Lord Chandra is said to have 27 wives. And these 27 wives are actually the nakshatras in Vedic astrology, naming from Ashwini Nakshatra to Revati Nakshatra. These 27 nakshatras are the daughters of King Daksha. Among these 27 wives, Lord Chandra loves Rohini the most. That is why the moon transits in Rohini is considered the longest compared to any other nakshatras. Now, in our description about the moon in specific, we have taken Tiruvona Nakshatram or Shravanam. The word Tiruvonam here translates as hearing. And the symbol of this star is the ears. This star is the star of listening and learning. Just as ancient cultures passed on knowledge through oral traditions, so also people who are born under the nakshatra of Tiruvonam have great ability to obtain knowledge through oral traditions. Here, oral traditions is actually referred to as Gurukula Vasam. That means the student actually goes to the Guru's place, stays on and listens without any kind of stationary usage or writing in any kind of books. It's all merely hearing and narrating it back. The media and communication field, for example, social media, social networking, this field is also related to this star. So, current generation, what they will be going through is they will be closely acquainted with social media, gaining knowledge through the social media, rather than going to a specific guru to learn, as the trend is now evolving. Those born under Tiruvona Nakshatram seek wisdom and often travel to foreign countries to further their education, and those people have great focus for obtaining goals and completing all their projects that they begin. Now, coming to this nakshatra, let's look at the general characteristics of this nakshatra. It is very prosperous, very learned. The person will be very wealthy, famous, and has liberal-minded spouse. Liberal-minded here means there is no limitation, no restriction. They are open to any kind of changes at any time. The translation here about hearing is how we are accepting the knowledge through our hearing aid. It is also depicted as the one who limps. Here it's referring to Vishnu's 3 steps. We will be coming to the Purana story regarding this Vishnu's 3 steps later on. The symbol of this nakshatra is ears, 3 footprints in an uneven row, and a trident. The animal symbol of this nakshatra is a female monkey. The presiding deity that rules this nakshatra is Lord Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. The controlling planet is the moon, and the ruling deity of the moon is Parvati. So here, what I mean by presiding deity and the ruling deity is actually different, because the presiding deity that actually controls this planet is Lord Vishnu, because he's the preserver. And the ruling deity of moon here is Parvati. That is why we are acquainting the moon element as a feminine energy or a feminine, divine feminine that is used or that is embraced for creativity. Now let's look at the Purana story of Shravana Nakshatra. King Mahabali was a very generous and benevolent king. While he was performing the Ashwamedha Yaga with his guru Sukracharya, which is a Vedic sacrifice to celebrate his victory and giving away gifts. Now, what was the victory that he actually received was he was actually a demon king who actually took the land of the Devas. So he was celebrating it, and Vamana, the fifth avatar of Mahavishnu, approached him and asked, "Can you give me 3 steps of land?" King Mahabali, with no doubt, he agreed to give the land, not knowing that it was Mahavishnu himself who was asking, to test his generosity and dedication. Knowing who Vamana was, King Mahabali's guru Sukracharya warned Mahabali that be aware of who you are giving the land to. Sukracharya, to protect his Shishya, disguised himself as an insect and tried to stop the handing over ceremony by blocking the nozzle of water in the vessel. Because in ancient days, when there is an exchange of either land or when there's exchange of, when you're giving away something, there is a ceremony where you actually do something very similar to the Tarpanam process, but here you are handing over something to the other person. So they use water as an element to pass on the land to the next person. So that is what King Mahabali was actually doing to Vamana by pouring the water. So Sukracharya here, actually what he did was, he disguised himself as an insect and he blocked the vessel of the outlet of the vessel. Vamana then, being smart, he then took the stick and poked the nozzle to release the water, which eventually injured Sukracharya's eyes. The vessel was then cleared. So that is why Sukracharya is considered one-eye Jack, where his left eye is actually injured. He is not having a vision from the left side of the eye. So Vamana then, what he did was he metamorphosed into Vishnu as Trivikrama and took 3 huge steps that conquered 3 worlds: the heaven, the earth, and the third step, since there was no place, King Mahabali sacrificed himself and gave his head. So Vamana placed his leg on King Mahabali's head, as what you see in the image on this slide. So then Mahabali then realized that Vamana was none other than Mahavishnu, so he gave himself for sacrifice. So in some Hindu scriptures, it's mentioned that Mahabali was given a boon where he can come back to his kingdom every year, once a year, to visit his villages. And this celebration in Kerala, it is known as Bali Pradipada and Onam. So Tiruvona Natchatram is the day where Vamana avatar also took place, as well as Tiruvonam also took place on the same time. So the moral of this Purana story is, never be greedy for anything in life. Be generous enough to share whatever blessings that we are receiving with others. The Sthalam or the Navagraha Sthalam that is related to moon is known as Tingalur, Lord Chandra's temple. Tingalur is located 18 kilometers from Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu, India. It is a small agricultural village located in the Kaveri Delta region, Tamil Nadu. The temple is situated in the heart of the village dedicated to the moon god. This temple is one of the 9 Navagraha Sthalas. The temple was built in 7th century AD by Pallava king. The presiding deity in this temple is known as Soma. Here Soma is also referred to as Lord Shiva as well. The main idols are Kailasanadar, Lord Shiva, and Periyanayaki, goddess Parvati. During the month of Panguni, March till April, the rays of the moon falls on this Shivalingam. That is the speciality of this temple. It also considered to be a very special time to visit for those who have mental sorrows, physical illnesses are said to be solved during this period. People pray for removal of obstacles for childhood and progress in education. With that, I conclude the slide presentation of Chandradeva today. We will be hearing a kriti on Chandran by Yumika Manmadan. This kriti is set to Ragam Asaveri, Talam Chadusra Jadi Matya Talam. Now let us all hear this beautiful kriti. It's called Chandram Vajamanasa.
Chandram Vajamanasa Chandram Vajamanasa Chandram Vajamanasa Chandram Vajamanasa Chandram Vajamanasa Sadhu Hridaya Sadresham Chandram Vajamanasa Sadhu Hridaya Sadresham Chandram Vajare Indradi Lokapaledita Taresham Indradi Lokapaledita Taresham शङ्करमौलि विभूषणं सीतकिरणं चतुर्भुजं मदनचत्रं शापकरं वेङ्कटेश नयनं वीरान्मनोजननं विदुं कुमुदमित्रं विदिगुरुगुगवक्त्रं शशाङ्गं केशपतिशापानुग्रहपात्रं शरचन्द्रिकाधवल प्रकाशगात्रं कङ्कणकेयूरहारमकुटादितरं पङ्कजरिपुं रोहिणी प्रियकरचदूरं शशाङ्गं केशपतिशापानुग्रहपात्रं शरचन्द्रिकाधवल प्रकाशगात्रं कङ्कणकेयूरहारमकुटादितरं पङ्कजरिपुं रोहिणी प्रियकरचदूरं चन्द्रं भजमानस साधुहृदय सदृशं चन्द्रं भज रे।
That was a beautiful presentation, a beautiful kriti sung by Yumika Manmadan on Lord Chandra. The significance of singing this kriti, it actually gives a clarity of mind, a peace of mind when we sing or when we listen to this kriti, which I have personally experienced it, especially when we are so tensed up with day-to-day life, stress at work, and also we are looking forward to have a peaceful mindset, a peaceful mind before we end our day. Listening to this kriti surely gives that peace of mind and calmness, and it is also very significant towards if a person who is willing or wanting to worship Lord Shiva as well, this kriti also plays a very significant or important aspect. It gives you that feel of connectivity not only to the Divine Mother but also to the to Lord Shiva as well, because it's Chandra. Chandra is something that Lord Shiva actually adorned on his head. So moving on to the next segment, we are going to have a violin performance today. It is by Miss Shivani Devendran. She's going to play a Varnam. That was Varnam on Ragam Mohanam Ninnu Kori set to Talam Adi. Today I will be presenting a short kriti on Shivagama Sundari. My apologies, it's Mata Janapalini, Nalina Kanti. Nata Janapalini, Nadina Kanti, Nata Janapalini, Nadina Kanti, Nata Janapalini, Nadina Kanti, Navarasakalarasige, Ambike 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 Nata Janapalini, Nadina Kanti. Matamada Gaja, Matamada Gaja, Gamani Shiva, Madamada Gaja, Gamani Shiva, Mama Vasada Ganjanani, Maye Nata Janapalini, Nadina Kanti, Navarasakalarasige, Ambige Nata Janapalini, Nadina Kanti. परम कृपा घरी बत मनोहरी पंकज नेत्री परम पवित्री परम कृपा घरी बत मनोहरी पंकज नेत्री परम पवित्री मरगद श्री परमेश्वरी मरगद श्री परमेश्वरी माधुर्य विलासिनी शंकरी नत जनपालिनी नदीना कांति नवरसकलारसिगे अंबिगे नत जनपालिनी नदीना कांति. This is a kriti that explains the Navarasas, how the Divine Mother, is connecting with this raga and expressing the Navarasas. The Navarasas are anger, happiness, love, joy, everything. It is set to Ragam Nalina Kanti and Tanam Adi. With this, we are concluding the program session for day 5 Navaratri. Tomorrow, we will be meeting you with the aspect of Mars, how Mars is closely acquainted with Goddess as well as our daily lives. So stay tuned for tomorrow's event. We will be presenting you on Mars planet. Survive. Hope to see you all. Before we conclude, we will have a short prayer, Shanti Mantra. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tavasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amridam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnat Purnamudachyade Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyade Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you for all your support, your encouragement. I see so many people on the live chat. Thank you very much for joining us. Do join us for the next few days until the concluding ceremony of the Navaratri as well. And stay blessed, stay safe, and Hari Om.